arrived in Cairo and immediately ensconced ourselves in the penthouse suite to the Semiramis Hotel. Yes, it's hard work being a Cthulhu investigator. Nice to have a bit of luxury. But now we've got to get down to brass tacks and find out what the cults are up to. In Steady Rollerman presents The Masked Nyarlathotep.
Okay. It is Friday, the 13th of March, 1925. The time is evening, just after sunset. You've arrived at the Hotel Semiramis in Cairo. You've unpacked your things in your top floor suite, and you are heading towards the rooftop terrace bar. There is a gentle breeze from the Nile, the warm with the last breath of the day. The rooftop terrace of the Hotel Semiramis opens like a jewel box above the glowing city. Lanterns in brass cages cast pools of amber light across mosaic tiled floors. A polished mahogany bar runs along one side, tended by a silent, dignified barman in a white jacket. Behind him, crystal bottles catch the twilight like coloured glass in a bazaar. Wrought iron tables and wicker-backed chairs are scattered beneath wide campus canopies. Here and there, guests in flowing linen or smart colonial evening wear sip drinks and watch the darkening skyline. Beyond the low stone balustrade, Cairo unfolds below in tiers of ochre and gold. Minarets pierce the horizon like needles of onyx. The Nile glimmers far below, its black waters lazily reflecting the flickering lamps of passing feluccas. Distant music drifts up from the corniche, a mournful ode, the laughter of strangers, the heartbeat of a city that never quite sleeps. A waiter moves between tables with quiet grace, setting down cups of strong Turkish coffee beside crystal tumblers filled with arak or gin. The air is thick with the perfume of orange blossoms and faint hints of tobacco smoke from nearby hookahs. Overhead, the stars begin to emerge, sharp and impossibly bright, in the desert sky. "To Cairo," someone murmurs, lifting a glass. "To secrets," another replies, "and the fools who chase them." A British diplomat laughs too loudly near the bar, holding court amongst a trio of expats, puffing cigars and debating canal tariffs. On the far end of the terrace, a French archaeologist in a fraying suit sketches the shape of a serpent idol, while muttering to himself in wine-tinged Arabic. At a corner table, almost hidden behind a pillar, entwined with bougainvillea, sits a solitary man. He wears a white linen jacket absorbed by the evening edition of the Cairo Bulletin. A cigarette curls a thin line of smoke from an ashtray beside him, untouched. A veiled woman in deep plum silk surveys the terrace over the rim of her sherry glass. Her posture is graceful, but her eyes are sharp. She wears a brooch in the shape of a scarab, obsidian, not gold. Next to her sits a broad-shouldered, grey-haired Englishman wearing an old military coat, the medals deliberately removed. He drinks black coffee and says almost nothing. Okay, what are you doing?
Find a table to sit at, I'm guessing, so we can discuss our moves.
Okay, there are numerous tables, several which that offer you a superb view out across the River Nile, and where you can actually see the pyramids of Giza in the distance.
Can I, pleasing though the view is, I want to sit in such location that I can observe the room and ideally the door as well.
It's an open terrace. It's a roof terrace, so you just want to sit in the middle of the terrace then, really, so you can see what's occurring all around you.
Yeah, I'm primarily interested in people leaving and arriving because I'm aware that we might have been tracked, or at least they might put whoever is operating here for the cult might be aware of our arrival. So that's what I'm keeping
so
an
you're
eye
keeping a wary eye. Okay.
Indeed.
What I will say to that is that you can easily find some tables in the centre of the terrace. They're a lot less popular than the ones around the edge. But you immediately realise that there are lots of people coming in and out of this place. It's quite a busy hotel. So obviously you can keep an eye out for anything that looks suspicious. But as far as movement of clientele goes, that's quite difficult to keep track of. Okay.
I mean, I'm specifically keeping an eye out for Kinnery if he makes an appearance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay. You are presently seated, and what are you doing next?
Are the tables waited on?
Yes. Presently, the waiter makes his way around to your table and takes your order. Are you going for alcoholic drinks or?
Yeah, scotch for me.
Okay.
I'll have the same.
What's good here?
Not the water.
Very much down to your taste, sir. What sort of thing are you after?
Fairly simple, man. Cold beer?
He nods. We have plenty of that.
Excellent. That'll do me nicely, thank you.
Okay. Presently, the waiter leaves and comes back with your various orders efficiently and quickly. Stands there, kind of expectantly after he has placed coasters on your table and the drinks on them. He kind of adjusts his pocket.
I'll give him a tip.
Thank you, sir. Very good. He goes off.
Oh,
You throw a
gentlemen,
couple of. So carry on.
we made it. What now?
Now we try to make contact with Doctor at the museum, and we have a couple of slightly more nefarious leads to investigate. We need to decide how low key we want our investigations to be as well.
This is the first place where we haven't really had a great deal of local knowledge, have we?
No, well, local language as well. Do we need a translator? Howard, do you speak the language? Because I certainly don't, and I'm assuming you don't, Bert.
Well, my knowledge is really passing, basic Arabic. I can get by, but subtleties of the language evade me.
Well, I think that'll have to suffice for now. I wouldn't necessarily want to employ a translator who, by his very nature of the kind of things the questions we'll be asking, may probably leave our employ after the first conversation.
Perhaps Dr. Carrefour might be able to recommend someone. We should be able to trust him, and we're going to need more than a translator, aren't we? We're going to need someone who knows the local ways, something more in the line of a fixer.
That's true.
So is that the task for tomorrow? To try
first
and
task, meet Dr. Kafar. How do we pronounce his name? I don't want to offend him.
Carrefour, I thought it was.
Carrefour. Okay, I've tried to remember that.
And what else have we got to? We've got the Street of Jackals. I think that came right back from one of Jackson's letters. There was a reference to being I think Faraz Najjar in possession of singular curios of great interest to Jackson.
Yeah, that would be probably second priority, and the third one is Omar al-Shakti. And the letter was it Kazira Muhammad about Gavagan stealing, or Gavagan's predecessor stealing some of their artifacts that he wanted returning. So that would suggest that is a cult line of investigation that we should possibly be more careful, circumspect about. So the other two would get us a grounding, whereas that would be our first lead as to what their activities are here.
Well, just to understand, Douglas, so that last person, that was someone who was no friend of Gaffigan. So could it be an enemy of our enemy situation?
No, I don't think so, because I think if the impression that we got, particularly given the infighting that was happening in London, I think there may be competing factions within the cult.
Oh,
but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're friends.
Okay, so it could be that this one. Okay, I understand now. He's also a Roman, and
indeed.
Well, we did find a reference to Gavigan sending was it the Red Diary of Anselm de Montfort to Omar al-Shakti? So I think they may be aligned rather than enemies. I think we should be careful with the Street of Jackals as well. I mean, anywhere that sells singular curios, everything that we've come across and which sort of fits within that description has been aligned with the enemy.
Well, there may be an intermediary, perhaps someone who trades in such items but doesn't know their true worth. perhaps. So Omar al-Shakti was, my notes don't make too much sense. So Ghazira Muhammad, Cairo, is that the address or one of the...
You do have all the handouts still on the investigator notes page of the thingy, by the way, Discord.
Don't expect me to go back and actually read things. I'm going
Sorry.
to fumble with my notes.
I
I'm
found
looking
a
through my
letter.
note, but I'm looking through my note. Have you actually got the letter?
I found a letter on Gavigan's dressing table from Omar al-Shakti to Gavigan.
Yeah, he wants his bust back from Gavigan, your predecessor and associates acquired from us in less than honest circumstances. But I have against that note, Ghazira Muhammad, Cairo. Is that the address or is that a person?
Don't know.
Okay. I might have to resort to actually looking at the letter. But do we have it on? We don't have it on our person at the moment. We'll have to do that later on. Back in the room. It's back in the room. Let me go upstairs and find it.
You're going to go back out?
I'm going to go back and go and get the sheaf of papers that we can look at so that when we are discussing things, we can actually refer to them.
Whilst you do that, actually, that reminds me, what are you doing or what have you done since you arrived in the hotel with all of the, what can I say, artifacts that you've got that are...
They're all in this locked chest with a
you had two
with a grenade in it. Yeah, two of them.
You got two locked chests, so you just put them in the room, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You head back to the suite, which doesn't take you very long because the suite's on the top floor, so literally directly below the roof terrace, and then you return with the sheaf of papers.
I'm currently looking through said sheaf of papers. Bear with me, gentlemen. Talk amongst you. Okay, so Ghazira Muhammad is the address where Omar Shakti lives. So update my notes accordingly. Anybody interested in me reading the full thing to you?
Yeah, yes.
My dear Mr. Gavigan. So this is dated January 1925 from Omar al-Shakti, Ghazira Muhammad, Cairo, Egypt. My dear Gavigan, in his name do we serve. As we work... that's a little bit too small for me to read. Let me get my glasses. As the work of our Lord and Master grows ever nearer to completion, I must ask you with all due politeness to consider the return of that which your predecessor and his associates acquired from us under less than honest circumstances. As we are allies in this great endeavour, I seek not to dwell on past slights and inconveniences, but to move forward. I hope that this is your wish also, and that with this in mind, the return of the bust to its true home would not only be a gesture of goodwill, but also a reaffirmation of our most august and beneficial brotherhood. Your humble servant, Omar al-Shakti. So we did identify busts, didn't we?
And that was only 2 months ago.
Yeah, and the predecessor would probably be a member of the expedition.
Which bust?
Well, the only bust that you found is was in Gavigan's cellar, and it's a bust of the Black Pharaoh.
Yep.
You took it. You got it with you.
A bargaining chip.
So Mr. Gavigan has sent us to return the bust as you requested. No? Don't like that? I like that.
We just have to hope
into trouble immediately.
We just have to hope Gavigan didn't respond to that letter, and we obviously haven't seen the response. But it was only less than 2 months ago. It was January,
and also that they didn't write warning of our activities prior to that, giving a detailed description of our appearances. But last time we tried something like this, but the end result was the death of a dear friend, and our requirement to call Mr. Finch to bring you to save us. We tried to bluff our way into the factory that we subsequently had to burn down. So
the Derby situation.
Exactly so.
the charm.
Well, I don't think there's a Cairo version of me coming to rescue you if we balls it up this time.
Exactly so. I think, yes, Mr. Finch's reach may be long, but I don't think it extends to Cairo. Or perhaps it does. given that we are here. So, museum, Street of the Jackal, and then Mr. Al Shakti. That would be our order of action. Is there anything else?
Our course of action in increasing horror and
Peril.
danger. Yeah,
Indeed.
nice. Museum it is then.
So,
I'm going to lean into Douglas and say there's someone on the next table reading the London Times. Bear in mind, your face and mine have been plastered all over the national press.
Let's just shuffle seats round so that our backs at that individual. Hopefully it's now old news. I'm thinking I'm going to grow a beard, and I think perhaps you should shave yours off.
We're moving in and out of facial hair.
Can everybody roll percentile dice for me, please?
38.
66.
Mr. Briggs has rolled 2, and Mr. Baker has rolled 5.
Okay, Mr. Briggs is 2. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Or don't.
I suspect. Well, what do we do if we are recognised? I mean, will the police here be interested in apprehending us? Are we yesterday's news? I mean, we are suspects, I suppose. The death of an MP is not something to be taken lightly, and not something they're likely to forget in a hurry.
I expect the British still have quite a lot of influence here.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going around the streets, you still see there are British Army personnel here. Although Egypt has officially been handed back to the Egyptians, there are still lots of military presence, especially around the canal as well.
I think I might have to adopt a headscarf and cover it across my face.
But you're still travelling under your actual name, though.
I am.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to find counterfeit passports for you two? Assume your
I suppose
identity?
if you, I know no one in Cairo, let alone anyone be able to provide me with counterfeit documentation. Also, I think that would probably make life even more complicated. I'm not planning. They may know I'm in the country, but I'm not planning on attracting enough attention that anyone is going to be asking for my identification.
I suppose if we do find ourselves detained by the British, then we might have to use Sir Edward's name.
You checked into the hotel under your own name, though, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm not sure, but how would Sir Edward's name help us, given that they're investigating the death of his son? That would be my concern.
And what sort of alibi do you have for those days?
I have no alibi at all. It was not something that I thought to prepare.
Just hypothesizing that if you were, for example, to be arrested, what you may say regarding those events, whether you were there or not there, or
I would deny any knowledge at all. I would say that I was in London.
So I always say we'll piss in that stream when we cross that bridge, lads. There's a very well dressed Egyptian fellow over there in a white linen jacket who seems to be paying a little bit more attention to us than I'd like.
Just watching.
Seems to be. I'm watching him right back.
Is he aware that he's been noticed, do you think?
Not sure.
You don't think so?
I suppose it's difficult to tell whether these are specific agents following us from the Brotherhood or just general ne'er-do-wells.
Indeed. I mean, it may well be somebody who is eyeing up potential marks who are new to the country, and someone they may be able to rob or con.
Yes.
Could be anything. I think there is a definite concern that any time we see something untoward, we automatically assume it to be the Brotherhood or some other cultist activity. I mean, it could just be, as you say, could be somebody who could just be admiring our attire.
Cultists or common criminals. No offence, but
What makes you think that Bert's a criminal?
well, certainly not everyday one.
Whatever it is, he's drunk up and left.
Shall we follow him?
Already? It's following men time already, is it?
Well, I mean, if he is part of the Brotherhood, then it would be well for us to see where he's going. Although it may be difficult for us to
I'll have a little look. Well, I
be
won't
hidden.
go far. I won't go far. We're not. 4 of us are not trailing an Egyptian around Cairo.
No,
Give me.
we'll
Give
form
me
a crocodile and follow him.
yeah. Give me 10 minutes and I'll be back.
Right, you are. If you're not back in turn, we'll come looking for you.
Cheers.
Okay,
All right.
you've given him about at least a minute's head start. So by the time you get from the roof terrace, and descend into the lobby on the first level, sorry, on the top floor, you can't see. There's a few doors to rooms, which one of them is yours.
Yeah.
And then there's a stairway down and the elevator as well.
I'll take the stairs down.
Okay. You go. Okay, you make it. You're just going to run all the way down to the bottom, all the way down the stairs to the bottom of to the main lobby in the hotel.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Are you running full pelt, or are you walking, or are you? How are you doing it?
I will hurry down the stairs quickly. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Can you make a spot hidden roll, please? You emerge after descending the staircase. You emerge into the lobby downstairs, which is quite busy.
So I've rolled a 4, which I don't
Okay.
think I need to tell you was a extreme success. Yeah.
Okay, so you glance around, and with your keen eyes, you're just in time to see the man in a white suit step out of the main door onto the pavement, and you can just see him raise his hand to hail a taxi before a load of other people get in the way again.
Okay. I'll see if I can get a taxi from behind them.
Okay, you cross the hallway, and then you hail a taxi. He's gone off in a taxi cab, a car. There are lots of horses and carts around. Can you make a luck roll, please?
Oh, I rolled 75.
Okay. Yeah, a taxi. There isn't one directly. There wasn't one available that's empty. As you step outside the hotel, you have to wait about 30 seconds or so before one pulls up outside, and the occupants get out to enter the hotel, and you can hail it. But by that time, the one you're trying to follow has disappeared around the corner.
Okay. I'll just apologise to the taxi driver and head back upstairs.
Okay. You presently you arrive back at the top. Are you going up the stairs or in the elevator?
Oh yeah, I'll take the elevator.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything else when you're on the roof terrace whilst?
Just waiting and then keeping an eye out, make sure that nobody else is watching us.
Okay.
I'll flick through the sheaf of papers that Douglas brought out.
Okay, Douglas, you arrive back on the roof terrace eventually.
Not me.
Not Douglas. Albert. Bert.
Yeah. I'll just go sit back down. I caught up with him in the lobby, but he got a taxi, and I wasn't able to get a cab quickly enough to get after him.
Well, I don't think that tells us anything new, does it? I mean, our assumption always was that we were going to be followed. It just means that they know where we are, so we're going to have to be very careful. I suspect we should also probably do something about all the artifacts that we have in the room. We should maybe try and find a bank, a secure place for us to put those. Because if people do know that we are here, we can't leave somebody guarding it.
No.
Perhaps Dr. Kafur might be able to help us with that. He's curator of the museum. They must have some secure storage.
We could hide them in plain sight in their storerooms.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
We could give
If
them
they have
top men to look at them.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's even more incentive for us to go to the museum tomorrow then.
Okay. Anything else that you wish to do then before you retire for the evening?
Not from me.
Another drink or two, and then retire.
Okay, you have a couple more whiskies or whatever your tipple is, and then
gin, lime, and soda, I think.
Okay, so at a reasonable hour, you head off to bed, and then are you planning on then going? What are you planning on doing in the morning?
Breakfast.
And then head off to the museum.
Okay.
What do we do about the chest? So I'm concerned that
you're back in the room now.
Yeah, if we leave the chests here and all of us go to the museum, then if that was someone from the Brotherhood, then we could come back here and discover everything's been stolen. But equally, we can't really go hefting the chests to the museum
No.
when we don't even have an invitation.
Do you want me to stay here and guard the chests?
I think that maybe you and I should stay here, and the other two go to the museum. I don't like the idea of anybody being on their own. Much as I don't doubt your ability, I would be surprised if they did come back, they wouldn't come on their own. Is that agreeable to you, Jacob, Howard?
It makes perfect sense to me.
You seem best placed as well to speak to him.
Yeah, I think I'm much more at home in a museum than I am with a shotgun across my lap guarding artifacts.
I would still suggest you go armed.
Out of interest, what are the laws for carrying firearms in Egypt for private citizens?
Good question. I don't think you're allowed. Is the simple answer, but just double check that.
Never stopped us though.
Yeah, well, you can carry them, but you have to have permits, and the permits have to be arranged at port entry. But obviously, you didn't declare that you had the items at port entry, so you probably don't have you won't have permits for them. So you could. So I suppose the answer to that is that you can carry them as long as you don't get challenged by the police, which is exactly the same as it was in England when you were carrying them all the time.
It's fair. They'll get challenged by the police. I'm in trouble anyway. So
yep.
I'm gonna stay guarding the chest and try furiously to grow my beard whilst I'm there.
What is your grow beard skill?
Oh, it's absolutely outstanding.
It's quite high, actually. That 5 o'clock shadow is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just for information, when you were travelling to the hotel that you're currently staying in, you noticed that you actually passed the Egyptian Museum on the way. So you know that the Egyptian Museum is less than a quarter of a mile from the hotel you're currently in.
Yeah, perfect.
It's literally on the east bank of the Nile, just a little bit further north.
Number 11. Number 11 on the map, isn't it? We're number 14.
Yep, that's it.
It's practically next door.
Yeah, the British residency is also quite close as well. So I don't know whether you probably want to steer clear of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sleeping. You're going to go to your rooms. Where are the chests kept? In which room? Because you've got 4 different. Or you just it's a suite. So are you just keeping them in the main room, or?
I'll put them in front of the door.
Okay.
Keep them where we're sleeping, or while we're sleeping.
What, in your bedroom? Okay. You have one each in your bedrooms.
Yeah, fine. Okay, I'll take one. Jacob, take the other one.
Okay. Your first night in Cairo passes uneventfully. You're obviously quite fatigued from your travels. So, despite the numerous things that play upon your mind, all of you manage to get a refreshing and long night's sleep. You wake in the morning with the Egyptian sun streaming through the drapes, feeling refreshed. It's Saturday today, Saturday the 14th. Just heading down for breakfast.
I'm starving.
Room service.
Okay, you can order room service.
Yeah,
perhaps we should keep a slightly lower profile until people's memories of our faces in the press fade a little.
Yeah, that's probably fair. More room service, less sitting in bars and standing out from a crowd.
We're yesterday's news.
But also until we can find some more Egyptian-looking garb that will allow us to blend in a little more. At the moment, I don't really feel comfortable with the clothing that I'm wearing. I look like a tourist.
Having said that, to a degree you're correct, but the garb is quite mixed in Cairo. It's quite a cosmopolitan city, even at this stage, as you can imagine. So, yeah, you don't look like a native, but there are lots and lots of Western lots of Europeans here as well. So,
yeah, I'm going to try and make myself look a little bit more like I
belong
live here. Yeah.
Okay. Presently, the bellboy porter brings your breakfast. He smiles, hands across the tray, stands awaiting his tip after you've thrown a couple of piastres at him. he disappears, leaving you to enjoy your breakfast, which you do quickly. And once that is finished, what do you intend to do now?
We head to the museum, Howard. But before we do that, what exactly are we hoping to gain from this meeting?
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's a very good question.
Sir Edward recommended we seek him out, but to what end?
Well, you're going to need a fixer, someone that can translate. We need a safe place to put our crates. Is he part of Sir Edward's fraternity, or is he just a friend? How do we know what his knowledge is of the occult beyond the occult?
You ask who you ask. I presume you're
I was
asking.
asking. I wasn't asking. I wasn't
Howard
asking
was.
you. I was asking.
Yeah.
I was asking everybody. It's been a long.
Of which
trip.
only Howard is going to really know.
Yes.
He's the only one who knows Edward.
Yes.
I've never met Edward before.
What does Howard know of? Is Dr. Kafur part of the Order of...
It's the answer that that Edward gave him when he asked him that question just before you left. That's what he knows.
So long ago.
I know. So I'll be kind to you. He told you that he is not a member of the Order. No. But he alluded to the fact that he is somebody who is open-minded and has knowledge of the old one.
So can be trusted with. So we could perhaps
Yes.
tell him what we are doing here, and any information he may be able to provide, any knowledge he had of the expedition when it passed through, and ask him whether he is aware of the shopkeeper who offers curios, and whether he is aware of Shakti. That would be enough to be going on with.
And also, any of the artifacts that we have, if he is able to enlighten us as to their purpose.
Did we not already gain that information from Sir Edward's investigations?
We had some of it, but maybe not all of it.
Well, for those that we don't know their true nature, then definitely he is hoping that he is such a good man that his desire for knowledge and artifacts doesn't extend to appropriating them from us.
Should I ask him about Gavigan? We found those fake passports in Gavigan's possession.
Yes,
Perhaps.
I think anything potentially related to people we met in London, and our lady friend as well. Maybe she escapes me.
Sarah Shafiq.
Indeed. Shafiq, yes, because obviously she didn't originate from London. Maybe she travelled from Egypt to usurp Gavigan.
So was she the same person that had power over Carlyle? Was that
No, that was someone called Boone.
Equivalent high priestess.
I suppose it could have been the same person, but going by a different...
Yeah, she did jump ship, didn't she?
Well, we've got plenty to ask him about. Is there anything else?
Just thinking about these artifacts. So we have the various artifacts and tomes in these chests here, but some of them, the ones that we knew how they worked, we had distributed them. So can I just check that people have them in their possession and they're not in the chests? So, for example, I have the Nyambi scepter.
Sorry, say that again. You want to...
No, I'm just checking that those artifacts that we decided to use ourselves, the ones that we understood how they worked.
Yes.
The Starstone of Nar, and the headband. Can't remember the name of it.
Yes.
That we actually have them
The
in our
ones that we
possession
passed.
rather than in the chest.
Yes. What about them?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just checking that was the case, that we haven't just left them.
No, I'm carrying. Well, obviously the Starstone is. I'm wearing that, but whether anybody feels comfortable carrying scepters and headbands around without attracting attention is a different matter.
Scepter's not too big, is it? Small enough to be hidden under a jacket. Do you remember?
The scepter's about 3 foot long.
Okay,
Both
maybe.
of them. There's 2 of them. They're quite short for scepters, but they're
the crook and the scepter.
they're both scepters. One's got a crook on the end, and one's got an inverted ankh.
Quite difficult to carry around. and certainly
Okay.
not much likelihood you're going to be wearing a coat
Okay.
in Egypt.
Yep.
Are you referring to the scepter that you're carrying, the Nyambi one? Yeah, that one. Sorry, I apologise. That one is. You're right. That one is quite small, and you could just about conceal that under a coat. Yeah, but the others, the pair of scepters that Gavigan had, those are the ones I was referring to. They're a bit bigger.
That's where I was going.
You're going to need a scepter shoulder holster.
Okay, so am I right in thinking then that Bert and Douglas, you're just staying in the room, and then Howard and Jacob, you're now leaving, going out across, just this short distance across Cairo to the museum, the Egyptian museum. Would that be right?
That's right.
Okay. You leave the hotel room, the two of you, and you head out through the grand lobby. I presume you're just going to walk. It's only a quarter of a mile. It's not very far at all.
Yeah, taking a bit of Cairo.
You can. There are you've got horse and carriage outside. There's even camel taxis you could take if you like. You've got obviously the option of motor taxis, or you can just walk.
So only a 5-minute walk.
Yeah. Okay. You head out into even this relatively early stage of the morning. The streets are bustling, and the heat is already quite stifling. You're kind of hit with a wall of chaos as you leave the hotel. There are people, there are cars, horses, camels. There are police sort of standing in the road with whistles, directing what is like a chaotic cacophony of traffic. And there are crowds of pedestrians walking all across the road. There doesn't seem to be any order at all. So you make your way north towards the Tahrir Square, where the Egyptian Museum is. After taking the short journey, the Egyptian Museum looms ahead, its dusky rose facade rising boldly against the brilliant morning sky. The buzz of Cairo's crowded square falls to muffled hum as you ascend the broad front steps. The steps are flanked by ancient statues of pharaohs, whose stony gauges have watched centuries pass. A bronze-framed door creaks open with a rush of cool, still air, and the faint scent of dry paper and oiled wood as you enter. Excuse me, I've just got a real tickle. I'm just going to put myself on mute and cough.
Jacob, I believe that Sir Edward was planning to call ahead and speak to Dr. Gilwarden of our
send
arrival.
a telegram. Yeah, hopefully we'll be expected.
Inside, the entrance hall is grand and echoing. Towering statues of Ramesses and Sekhmet cast long shadows across the tiled floor. Stone columns stretch up to a high vaulted ceiling where sunlight pours in from arched windows. Papyrus-coloured banners hang from the rafters, boasting current exhibits. Just ahead stands a wide reception desk of mahogany and brass. A young museum official sits behind it in a neat linen suit, squinting through wire-rimmed glasses. He greets you with a measured nod. Welcome to the Egyptian Museum. If you're here for the public exhibit, the galleries are to your left.
Good morning. Well, we were actually hoping to meet with Dr. Kafur. Is he here this morning?
You have an appointment with Dr. Kafur?
No, but I suspect he'll probably be expecting us. If I give you our names, perhaps you could check.
I'll give him my card.
He looks at your card and he says, yes. Dr. Kafur is expecting you. Please, this way. Quietly, if you would. He gets up quietly from his chair, and you see a door behind the desk which has the plaque that reads Staff Offices and Archives, Authorised Visitors Only. And then he walks towards that door and gestures for you to follow him.
Follow.
Okay, you find yourself following him into a discreet side corridor past towering crates marked property of the Egyptian Museum towards the cool book-lined research wing. The polished brass door opens with a gentle creak, revealing a room steeped in quiet scholarship, shelves stretched to the ceiling, groaning with leather-bound volumes and cracked scrolls on one wall. An enormous map of ancient Lower Egypt curls slightly at the corners. Dr. Kafur stands by an open window, sleeves rolled to the forearms of his linen shirt, brushing fine desert dust from a long scroll case. At the sound of footsteps, he turns and smiles. You've arrived at last. Welcome to Cairo, my friends, and to my somewhat cluttered sanctuary.
Good morning. Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Kafur. Jake Lockhart, and this is my esteemed colleague Howard Baker. I do hope you're expecting us.
I
It
must
is indeed
confess,
an honour.
I have been expecting you. I received a telegram from Sir Edward. He spoke highly of you and said you would be travelling under heavy skies and urged me to offer what assistance I could. He said there would be more of
Indeed, two of our colleagues are currently residing at our hotel.
See,
We thought it'd be a good idea for the more, academic of us to meet with you first.
that is good news. I must admit I'd feared the worst when I saw. But please sit. Would you like some tea? It is very important to stay hydrated here.
Of course, I'd love some. It never ceases to amaze me every time I return to your museum. I must commend you. It is.
You
it's
have been here
amazing.
before.
Once several years ago, but not for long enough. And I'm delighted to be back.
And you have an interest in Egyptology?
Indeed, I have. Yes, Egypt's culture and history here is incredible. 5 millennia.
Yes, I have never been outside of this country. It is a fantastic place. Many who would say that it is not quite so fantastic since the work of Mr. Carter, but never mind. We cannot. With the spotlight of the world upon us, there are boons and there are also things that we would rather not see happen to our sacred country. But please, I will pour your tea. He pours the tea for you. Tell me, why are you in Cairo then? And moreover, how exactly can I assist you? I am afraid that Sir Edward was not very forthcoming with information in his telegram.
Well, much as I'd like it to be a purely academic and research visit, I'm afraid we are here on rather pressing business.
I thought as much. He says he pours himself some tea and then sits down. Please speak openly with me. I go back a long way with your friend. You may trust me as you would trust him.
Yes, I've known, obviously, Sir Redford for many years, and he has certainly vouched for your alacrity and character.
Indeed.
The world is not as safe a place as it once was. As you know, people across the world have been discovering the darker history of mankind and those that dwell beyond mankind's reach. Unfortunately, the veils between these worlds, in their foolishness, some of these people have decided to pierce those veils and bring the two worlds together. Jacob and his colleagues have managed to push back the darkness in New York and London, but we fear that across the rest of the world, these dark forces are being drawn towards us. And here in Egypt is one of those places.
Dr. Kafur, you see, he rises from his chair and then begins pacing slowly around. He paces past a tall case of Assyrian artifacts. He says, "You speak in such a way that reminds me of an American came here just before Christmas. He spoke worldly conspiracies and darkness. It cannot be a coincidence."
Might that be Mr. Elias?
Yes, that was he, Mr. Jackson Elias. Are you friends of his?
Dear friend of ours, though sadly he met a rather tragic end quite recently, probably not long after you saw it. It's his involvement that set us on this path.
My heart is heavy with that news. I did not realise.
What was dear Jackson interested in?
He came to me seeking answers, most urgently about the Carlyle expedition. Have you heard of it?
We have. That was a topic I was going to raise with you, Dr. Kafur. It's one of the reasons we're here, to try and retrace the steps of the expedition and find out the truth.
I see. I found Mr. Elias was intense. He would say, how would you say, driven? But there was fear in him too, plain as day, and it seems that whatever he was fearing finally caught up with. He sits down in his chair. Unfortunately, I was called away. A lecture, if I recall. Mr. Elias was planning on visiting the Cairo Bulletin, so we arranged another meeting for the following day, but he never returned. I waited. I sent a message to his hotel with no reply, and then nothing. Mr. Wasif at the bulletin confirmed he had been at the newspaper offices, but that he himself hadn't seen him as he was away from the office for a few days. To hear of his death saddens me more than I can say. He was a seeker of truth. He looks... but truth in these matters, as you may know, often bites. And he picks up a scroll off the table and puts it back in the case as he says, if you walk the same path that Mr. Elias did, you must understand the path is perilous. Jackson was not the first to fall to these shadows, and I fear you, if you are not careful, you will not be the last.
Unfortunately, friends of ours, Jacobs, have already fallen. I recently travelled over from New York to assist. You may have heard of Sir Edward's sons, what befell them.
I'm
Blame
afraid
myself in part for that.
again, I am not aware of what happened. I
Fortunately,
spend too much time here, not enough learning of worldly events. But if you're telling me that they also have died, then that indeed is heavy news.
great tragedy, and I fear that more on the side of light will die before this is over.
But tell me, why the Carlyle expedition? I do not understand the link here. Why what's you and what Jackson? What has this to do with anything?
Well,
Dark.
one area of... Sorry, after you, Jake.
There are dark organisations, cults at work, and we think that the Carlyle expedition may have been murdered by one of these a cult we've come across on our travels as well. We were hoping you might be able to shed some light on what happened to the Carlyle expedition, or at least to help us retrace their steps. Do you have any involvement?
You ask me what I know of the Carlyle expedition, and I fear my answer will do little to soothe your nerves. He steps over to a glass-topped table where there's an ancient cartographic drawing of pyramids, and he points to one which is titled Bent Pyramid at Dashur. I believe they uncovered something terrible, something tied to the Black Pharaoh, an entity lost to time but not to influence. Their path did not end in Egypt, of course. It led to Kenya, to blood. And Sir Aubrey Pennew, I once held him in esteem. We exchanged theories on the Black Pharaoh. He was obsessed. Brilliant, yes, but tethered to something I could not see. But when last he returned to Cairo, he did not come to me. I visited the dig site at Dashur myself, concerned. He greeted me, not as a friend, but with suspicion, even disdain. His warmth was gone, his very presence. It was different. He looked younger than when we last met, unnaturally so, and his manner, cool, aloof. There was cruelty in a kind I'd never glimpsed before. I believe something happened out there in Dashur, something ancient, something that changed him and the others. It is no surprise to me that their trail ends in massacre. What they woke, I think, followed them.
Do you know what led them to Africa?
There was some talk of Mr. Carlyle being ill, not being able to put up with the climate here, and that movement to the cooler climes in Kenya would be beneficial. That is all that I know. If you tell me, before you came here, had you heard of the Black Pharaoh?
We have.
We have.
We've experienced followers of them in London, for example. Is it something you have experienced it only in your studies or elsewhere?
He turns and says, there is a name, the sands of time. Try to forget, but cannot. Nephilim Ka. At the close of the third dynasty, this man, sorcerer, priest, mad king, rose from the deserts of Arabia, from a city called Ilam. Have you heard of it? The City of Pillars. Even Mad al-Azif names it. And that is a book that should never be named aloud. Nephilim Ka brought a god with him. Or perhaps he became one. The Black Pharaoh, they called him. Madness and death followed his command like obedient dogs. For a time he ruled the Nile with fear and sorcery. The records of these he overthrew. Zosa's line vanished, erased by decree or by terror. But he was not unstoppable. Sneferu rose with the blessing of Isis. He defeated Nephilim Ka at great cost. The sorcerer's body was sealed in a pyramid at Medum, an act not of reverence but of containment. He taps on the wall depicting the pyramids around Dashur. Yet Medum collapsed. A warning, perhaps. The bent pyramid was then built. Hurriedly and strangely. Some say Neferkar's remains lie within, but we have searched. Many have searched, and found nothing. Rumors tell of a hidden chamber, still sealed, still sleeping. He moves across to another panel showing a red-coloured pyramid. The red pyramid, this one too, was Neferu's work, built to guard the bent pyramid at Dashur, not to honour Neferkar, but to keep him in. On Neferu's command, all traces of Neferkar were struck from the land. But whispers endured. His worships fled south, into the swamps beyond the Sudan, and, in time, they stirred again. Some say that the cruel 6th dynasty queen Nitocris aligned with the reborn cult of the Black Pharaoh. I believe these patterns they repeat, and in certain circles the Black Pharaoh is still known by another name. He leans into you and says, Nyarlathotep. He picks up his tea and you can see his hand shaking a little bit as he sips it.
It's as we feared. The aspects of this Nyarlathotep have shown themselves across the world. I was with Sir Aubrey in Dashur, his first expedition there, and I bear the scars to this day. I'll roll up the sleeve on my left arm and show him the black.
He reads up his face and says, you have seen much.
Okay, this is just a taste of what they have, and this is why we must defeat them.
Yes, you must defeat them. Let me tell you of the one Egypt tried to forget, the Black Pharaoh. Some say he was not merely a king or a priest, but one of a greater pantheon. Gods more ancient than the Ennead, older than the sun's first rising. They were not gods of order, but of chaos, of madness. Neferkar, if that was ever his true name, had a beast, vast, terrifying. The great Sphinx, they say, is but a dwarfed, sanitized echo of his voice. No, his will travelled on a black wind. Wherever it blew, minds shattered, temples cracked, sandstorms obeyed. Then he puts his fingers to his mouth as if he's thinking. Fingers and toes after the great good one. Fingers and toes after the great good one. A prophecy. 20 centuries after Christ, a new age. It claims, one not for mankind, but for his followers. A time of truth and a time of terror. There were things that looked like men but weren't, living beneath the sands, waiting, ambushing travelers who wandered too far. Even the Sphinx, it once played a role in Queen Nitocris' rites. There's blood in that stone. I do not think these are merely legends. I know the outer gods exist. Azathoth, the demon sultan, is at their heart. The Black Pharaoh, Nyarlathotep, he is their mouthpiece, their mask. I have seen his servants in the desert, creatures not of this world. I know of the brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh still moves among us, and in Kenya, yes, I've heard of the bloody tongue. I believe it's another face of the same being. As you say, Howard. Sighs, sits down in his chair. You came seeking truth. You may regret finding it.
For now, we're looking Egypt. We believe there are other places. Australia is one where we have found rumours and evidence. For the moment, we'll do what we can in Cairo. Although the powers that we face are great and widespread, we have been able to secure some of the items, some of which we have an idea of how to use, and others we do not. For example, this small scepter here, I believe, can enhance a person's ability with the arcane. And I'll show him the scepter of an Iambi.
He has a look at it and he turns it over. He says, his eyes are wide. You have others like this?
We do. Items that we have captured from members of the Brotherhood and their allies in New York, Jacob. These artifacts obviously would be desirable to the Brotherhood and their acquaintances, but we need to store them somewhere safely while we spend time researching them. But at all costs, they must not fall into their hands. Is that something that you could help us with?
Very interesting. Bantu-speaking people. Africa, the god. It is our Allah. He hands it back to you. Where did you come by these items?
That is for Jacob to explain. Jacob and his colleagues found them first. I'm said he recently joined their crusade.
We've acquired most of them from the enemy. They were being used by the Bloody Tongue or the Brotherhood. So we've seized them to keep them out of the hands of the.
You have done good work, and yes, of course, I will take them here. They will be safe. We have many priceless artifacts stored in safes here that can never be broken into.
Yeah, we were hoping that not only with the physical security that they might be hidden among other boxes and difficult to find. It's up to those who know where they are.
Of course. I would be happy to oblige. I can even maybe research the items myself.
If you could, we would be most grateful. I
But
can assist you in any way I can.
it should be I assisting you, and that is but a small thing. I would be most happy to do so. But where does the Carl expedition fit into this? And for that matter, the Penhew Foundation. Have you had any dealings with them?
We have, and everything seems to be intertwined. As we say, the Carlyle expedition, we believe, met its end perhaps at the hands of the Bloody Tongue. The Penhew Foundation come across Mr. Gavigan?
Yes, I have. The Penhew Foundation, once I held them in high regard. I even admired Sir Aubrey, as I said. He was a man of learning, intense and methodical. And I found Mr. Gavigan to be much the same. But that was before Sir Aubrey died. Since his passing, the Foundation has sent no fewer than 10 expeditions back to Egypt. Each one cloaked in more secrecy than the last, and each marked by, how should I say, unwholesome outcomes. More than 20 deaths. Several vanished entirely. A handful of suicides, and one poor man driven mad by what he saw beneath the sands. What's most disturbing is the pattern. Secretive charters, erratic digging, unexplained disturbances. It all mirrors the Carlyle expedition, as if someone wishes to repeat their steps. The question is not why they keep returning to Egypt, but what they keep finding or what they haven't yet found. Mr. Gavigan, I hear he met an end recently, did he not? Even that news has reached me. Something in England, was it?
You're remarkably well informed. Yes, I understand he did meet his end. He was more involved with the cult of the Black Pharaoh than was healthy.
I am confused. If we are saying that Gavigan was involved with the cult, then what about Sir Aubrey and the rest of the expedition?
Well, that I can't answer. But Gavigan was definitely involved, and ultimately it led to his death.
It was that your friend, God rest his soul, Mr. Elias, was looking to piece together. He was sure there was more to the Carlyle expedition's disappearance than met the eye, but he did not. I was unable to speak to him for long enough for him to explain any further.
Carrefour, presumably you've been in Cairo for many years, have you?
I have lived here all my life. Yes.
There are a number of names that we've come across in our recent investigations that link to Cairo. I wonder if I might put some of them to you and see if you're aware of any of them.
Of course, I will do anything I can to help. Would you like any more tea?
That would be most pleasant. Thank you. Yes.
Please bear with me whilst I go and get some. He shuffles out of the room, leaving you two looking around at all these huge glass cabinets full of priceless artifacts, huge loads of books, tomes, scrolls piled high everywhere.
You think we can trust him, Howard?
Well, he certainly seems trustworthy, but then again, he knows a lot, certainly. You've now got my suspicion. Is he Dr. Kapoor that is friends with Edward, or has been, like Gavigan and Sir Aubrey, been corrupted? I think not.
My instinct is we can trust him, but my instincts have been wrong.
You hear the footsteps on the wooden floorboards coming back, and the door opens. And he comes back in with another tray, and presently pours some more tea. So, my apologies. Where were we? Yes, you were asking me for help.
Yes. Well, really, whether you can shed any light about certain names that have come up in our investigations. First one is someone called Omar al-Shakti.
His eyes narrow. Al-Shakti. Yes, I know of him. He is a man of means, a plantation, cotton plantation, influential here, well respected in some circles, if not altogether well liked. I confess I have no proof to tie him to any sinister dealings, but I do not make a habit of trusting men whose reputations are propped up by power and sealed behind closed doors. How have you come across his name?
Well, he had a connection to Mr. Gavigan. They seem to be joined together by an interest in certain artifacts.
I have heard quiet things, of women who vanish from his estates, of favours owed and never returned. He has interests in many quarters: agriculture, trade, and even antiquities. Wherever he appears, stories follow. If you intend to approach Mr. Al-Shakti, I would advise restraint. He is not a man who forgives disrespect or scrutiny.
I'm sure that will be most useful. We may try and find out a little bit more before we make any direct approach.
That would be most wise, and any attempts to find information about him would need to be done in a surreptitious way.
Yes, to that end, is there anyone here that you could recommend to us as a guide in the city? Someone who knows the streets, the back streets?
Which hotel are you staying at?
Semiramis, Sir Edward's recommendation.
Yes, indeed. You would be best on asking for a dragoman, a guide, a street guide. They would recommend a hotel of that nature. Would have many who have been vetted for their trustworthiness.
Thank you, Richard.
Other names, Dr. Cuffle. We also found reference to the Street of Jackals and Faraz Najjar. Jackson in particular was interested in that referred to singular curios, I think, were Jackson's example. Something you know of?
The Street of Jackals, it is in the old city, is all I can say. I have not heard the name. There are thousands of curio sellers. The more tourists that come to the city, the more money there is to be made in selling worthless items. I am not aware of Mr. Najjar.
Perhaps if we can arrange a dragoman through the hotel, they may be able to help her. Thank you.
In certain more seedy areas of the old city, and the Street of Jackals would be one of those, then yes, that would probably be the best course of action.
You were aware Mr. Gavigan might have used aliases. I don't know if any of these names ring any bells. Mr. Hassan Al-Fayud, a historian, or Klaus Dietrich Adler, a German archaeologist.
Once again, I am sorry, I have not heard those names. Why would he be using alias?
That's what I was hoping to find out, but it's generally for nefarious purposes. One final name before I keep bombarding you with names. Zahra Shafi, Egyptian woman.
The name, it is familiar. It is familiar to me, but I cannot place it. No, I must say I have an idea that I may know that name, but I cannot now put my finger on. Leave that one with me. I will. He writes it down. Where is he or she? Sounds like an Egyptian.
It is.
Is she here in Cairo?
I think more likely London.
Let's see. No, it does not come to mind. Even though a bell at the back of my head rings, I cannot put my finger on it.
Dr. Kafur, you have been most helpful. Not sure, Howard, is there anything else we wanted to ask the dear doctor?
Just whilst I have you here, it occurs to me, have you heard of the Clive expedition? Yes? Now that we talk of the Penhew Foundation.
Clive expedition?
It is their latest expedition here, sponsored by the Penhew Foundation.
Do you know what they're investigating?
And where and who leads them?
Dr. Clive's team were digging at Giza, the smallest of the Great Pyramids, Mycenorensis Pyramid, and they recovered a mummy, unmarked, unidentified. But from my researches, can you guess who it was? I am certain it was Queen Nitocris, a ruler both beautiful and utterly cruel. They say she was so entombed alive, her crimes were too vile for even the gods to reckon. For centuries, no trace of her burial has been found until 6 weeks ago when Dr. Clyde's team uncovered a hidden chamber within the smallest of the Great Pyramids of Giza. That alone is startling enough. But now, the mummy has been stolen. No explanation, no ransom, no footprints in the sand, but I suspect its disappearance is no ordinary theft. I believe it is linked to the prophesied return of the Black Pharaoh. He walks to the shelf lined with expedition dossiers and he stops beside a thin folder and pulls it out. You can see it's labelled Clive Giza, and he flicks through it. There is one among them who you may wish to speak to. His name is Jan Willem van Hoevelen, a Dutch archaeologist, brilliant if eccentric. Dr. Clive cast him out. Some say for drinking, others for speaking too openly. If you truly wish to understand what was found beneath that pyramid and why it was stolen, you may wish to find Van Hoevelen. The tale begins with him. If you like, I can use my contacts in the city to try and find him. I hear that he's remained in Cairo, trying to attach himself to another expedition, or even to start one of his own. The Clive expedition has now moved to Memphis to continue their excavations.
If you could find out about Van Hoevelen, we would be very grateful.
He writes that name. I will endeavour to do so. Is there anyone else or anything else that can help
I
you?
think so, Doctor. You've been most helpful and most hospitable as well. We're very grateful. Howard, is there anything else?
At the moment, no, but we will, I'm afraid, be calling on you again.
And what are we to
consult
do with
our
these
colleagues.
items of which you speak? Do you wish me to send some of my team around to collect them from the hotel, or will you bring them to me?
We can bring them. Well, we'll discuss it with our colleagues in touch.
Will you be here for the rest of the day for tomorrow?
Yes, I am afraid I will. But it has been interesting making your acquaintance.
And
Yours
lastly,
too. You've provided a great deal of information, which I hope will be useful in our cause.
It is nice to be able to speak to those that understand me. He smiles weakly, shakes you both by the hand. Please, whenever you need me, I am here for you.
Thank you. We'll take
Okay,
our leave
thank
now, Doctor, and thank you again. Good day.
Okay, are you heading back to the hotel?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out to see if we're being watched.
Are there many sort of Western-looking people who wear headscarves at all, or is it mainly an Egyptian thing?
It's mainly an Egyptian thing, but there are some Westerners that are obviously trying to adopt the kind of a cultural local garb. So yeah, the answer is yes. There are Westerners that wear headscarves as well.
Are there any market
of the
stalls
women-
around?
Yeah, you can. There are loads of market stalls. Well, not stalls, but they're just like just little bits on the side of the road everywhere. There are people trying to hawk wares. So if you wanted to buy a hijab, you could do that.
I'll buy a couple.
Okay. Again, it's only a short distance back to the hotel, but you're relieved to get back inside from the heat of the sun. Albert and Douglas, you have remained in the room, and you have not had any interruptions or nothing untoward has happened, save for the only knock on the door that you've had was the room service coming to collect your tray. That's it.
Like cards.
I'm assuming there's nothing that you wanted to be doing whilst the others were at the museum.
No.
Okay.
I'm specifically not reading any books.
Bit of light reading.
Yeah.
You haven't really got any light reading. You've got quite a lot of heavy reading, but
There's a really big coffee table books that we've got. Yeah.
yeah.
Just look at the pictures.
Anyway, they are your colleagues are now back.
X.
Now we can assume here that you obviously were listening to that, so you don't need to. I presume that you're just going to summarize.
I'd like
I
to explain the last hour to us, please.
Yeah, I went and got a coffee, so I'd like a recap.
Oh, good.
No, joking.
I took notes.
Well, Howard took notes when he was there, so I will try to relay what we discovered.
You can't say relay. That's just. Dear.
Yeah. At least pronounce it right. What was the local name of the City of Pillars?
Iram. IREM.
Well, if we thought for a moment that we were going to run out of potential leads, just had the 3, I think we are now suffering from severe spider's web overload, knowing
Lots of
where
digging.
where to start. We need to be obviously very careful. Sounds like Al Shakti might be somebody that we avoid for the time being. It's surprising and concerning to find out that the Penhew Foundation has been so active in Egypt, and the number of deaths. Well, they've obviously found something if people have been driven mad. How those deaths occurred, whether it's through accidents that dig, sacrifices, who knows?
Even just keeping people quiet.
So absolutely. Now, at some point, I suspect we'll have to seek out this Dr. Clive, because it's reasonable to assume that he is also a member of the Brotherhood, if his whole team aren't. And it sounds as if they weren't, if this Van Hoevelum gentleman was thrown out of the group. If he was part of the Brotherhood, they would probably have killed him rather than cast him out.
Perhaps we should start with the Dutchman.
Yeah.
Perhaps so. Some additional research on the background of this Queen Mychinoquis, or however her name was.
Nitocris.
Nit-
Nitocris. Nitocris.
Nitocris.
So close. Writing it the Greek way.
I'm writing it in the illiterate way. But if her body was, her mummy was stolen, my immediate thought when it was mentioned was going to be our lady friend, but 6 weeks is not long enough for her to have become reanimated, travel to London and try to take over Gavigan's activities. I hope. Perhaps
Don't
I
even
am
busy if it is.
Yeah. Well, that would explain her appearance in the painting. Oh God, that could be what it is. Do we know how long she was there for? But she was rather long enough to be able to set up a shop. It couldn't have been less than 6 weeks.
No, you knew that. She's been in London a long time.
Yeah. Okay, that's one I can cross off. As I said previously, you start seeing plots everywhere.
The moment then, I thought the painting was a way to travel.
It
seemed to make it hard for ourselves.
When the truth is so fantastical, it's difficult to
trying to rule out the impossible.
The impossible, indeed.
but
when everything is possible,
it's all impossible and possible at the same time.
But if they're preparing something and the mummy is going to be used in some kind of ritual, finding out what that ritual is and preventing it is obviously important to us. So I would suggest that maybe the Clive expedition is a obvious and
primary
high priority area to investigate.
Now the clock is ticking.
Is the Dutchman our starting point? I'm assuming he's Dutch. Names.
Yes, yeah, I think he's our man. And then beyond that, he may give us insight into the Clive expedition. I'm not suggesting we travel to Memphis just yet, but yes, I think he would be our starting point. I mean, we have a lot of interesting background information. Interesting as well that about Penhew, Aubrey Penhew, appearing different, reinvigorated.
Sad news indeed. Or they reinvigorated, yes.
And having changed personnel, one wonders, was he the same person?
Well, or whether he has become a vessel in the same way that way back Larkin was in possession.
And that's the mother of that artist.
Well, yes.
And that's something different.
We're dependent on the good Dr. Carfor, though, to find the Dutchman.
Well, we know that he's seeking out other expeditions. I mean, there may be either our hotel or a number of other hotels where archaeologists and other expats would base themselves. if he is looking for expeditions, that is where he would go. So by extension, that is where we should go. I imagine there aren't that many Dutchmen here, and perhaps heavy drinking Dutchmen at that.
We need to start by sourcing a dragoman.
Yeah, Dragoman, yes. Just imagine the concierge could help us.
Major priorities before we start moving around the city. We need to take these chests to the museum, do we not?
Which we could do today. But
Well, I think the quicker that we do it, the better.
Yeah. What sort of time is it?
It's about midday.
Okay.
First things first, I shall remove the explosives from the chest. Is there anything that we want, other than the things that we were keeping on our persons anyway?
I'm thinking of the tomes and scrolls in there that require further research. Keeping them in our rooms is risky. So if I'm going to study them, the best place to do that would be in a quiet room.
Yes, definitely. So take everything and then take it all. Take it all. Make sure it's locked away in the deepest, darkest section of their archives or stores. And
yes, and I think an archaeologist going to the Egyptian museum wouldn't cause too much suspicion. Obviously, if the Brotherhood are watching it, they may wonder why I'm often going to the museum, and hopefully they would just assume I'm researching.
Well, that and the fact they'll probably watch us carrying 2 massive trunks to the museum.
Yeah. So do we take them?
Let's find a dragon because they can arrange some transport discreetly. And
yes, that is true.
Front entrance.
Okay, you're going to go to the concierge and ask him to appoint a dragoman, or see if he can do that for you.
Yes.
Certainly, says we have many on our staff that we can recommend who are both in charge reasonably, have a great knowledge of the city, and are trustworthy. You're looking at £1 Egyptian pound per day. I can recommend one for you. Would you like me to send him to your room?
Yes, please do. Thank you.
He looks down his list. He says, his name is Mahmoud El Khatib. I will send him to you as soon as I can.
Thank you. And just for reference, how do you spell Mahmoud? Is it El Khatib or Al Khatib?
Mahmoud, Mahmoud, Lel hyphen Khatib with a capital K Hatib. Okay.
Maybe we should transfer, as we walk away from the concierge, maybe we should purchase other bags so that we can transfer things in not such conspicuous fashion.
Perhaps Mahmoud could arrange some transportation from the back of the hotel.
Yes, that's true. And then there would not be any direct connection to us because we wouldn't be seen with the chests.
And Douglas or Bert, would you be able to observe the transfer discreetly so we can see that they actually do make it to the museum?
Yeah, of course I can do that, yeah.
Oh, Douglas, that's a present for you. A couple of hijabs on from the market stalls.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Might help us be a little bit more discreet as we go about Cairo.
Are you two both going to be wearing those then?
Yes, I want to get some other clothes as well, sort of more deserty type clothes. Obviously, I'm not going to sort of start cosplaying an Egyptian, but I want to, more suitable attire.
Okay, but as far as
more
your
naturalized,
as far as your facial features are concerned, then you are wearing something over your face most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. You wait in your room You've been in your room for about another 10 minutes chatting away, and then there's a knock on the door.
I'm just checking. They're not called. Are they called hijabs for men?
They are as well. You can get open face ones as well. They don't have to be They don't have to be the ones that you can just see the eyes.
Okay. What's the other one? Shamag. That's a. Do you wear those over the head? I don't know. I'm not. Anyway, Egyptian headwear. That'll do me.
Yeah, and we can find out what it's actually called at a later date.
Yeah.
It's an Egyptian headwear that offers some concealment of your
Persian world in which men wear the hijab or female headscarf. Hijab, it's a female headscarf, apparently.
It's just female, is it?
Hang on, or have they?
Well, shamag scarf for men?
Who knows? Let's investigate that
yes,
at a different day and then
but
edit out this conversation.
Oh, it's called Keffieh, Keffiyeh.
There you go.
That's the one that's got like it's like a cheesecloth with just a band around it. The picture that I'm looking at looks just like that. Anyway, okay. There's a knock on the door again. You're busy talking about Egyptian headdress.
I shall answer the door.
Okay, you see a tall, wiry Egyptian wearing a tarbouche, which is a fez, 3/4 length trousers, and a loose-fitting shirt. He has a well-groomed beard and moustache. Ah, my most honoured guests. Welcome to the Golden Heart of Egypt, the city of 1,000 minarets, the eternal Cairo. My name is Mahmoud El-Khatib, humble servant and dragoman at your disposal. He bows low. I know every alleyway from the Sultan Hassan Mosque to the spice-scented bazaars of Khan el-Khalili, and every tale whispered by the Nile under the moonlight. Whatever you seek, tombs, temples, treasures or truths, I shall be your guide and your shadow. You wish to speak to imams or informants, to avoid the police, or find a forgotten god? Then come, Effendi, let us step carefully, for the old stones here remember things, and not all memories sleep peacefully. But first, tea, he says, looking at the pot of tea on the table.
Of course. Welcome. I'll mop my brow and pour him a cup of tea.
Hey. Thank you, Effendi. So, what is first? Where do you wish to go?
First is a somewhat mundane task to arrange transport for some of our possession museum.
Most certainly. Which possessions?
These trunks here.
Large possessions. Of course. Transport of any particular type? Are they precious?
They are and discreet as well, perhaps from the rear of the...
I see, Effendi. He taps his nose and winks. I see. Yes, of course. Leave it with me. I will need to go and find some more muscle. I shall be back.
I can help. Just you and me.
Good. I will go and organise transport, and then I will come back to your room. Will you be here?
Of course.
Good. I shall be back presently. Thank you for the tea. He bows, and off he goes. Okay. Presently, he comes back. I presume just waiting. Knocks on the door. I am back. I have transport for your heavy, precious items. Very discreet, he says, winking. You're going to help him out the back. Okay, you take the trunks down the back, and you see you go through out of the back door of the hotel into. Outside is a man on a motorbike with a trailer behind it. A local, and you basically dump the trunks into the trailer, and then Mahmoud jumps on the back of the motorbike, and he just waves, and they speed off. You watch your priceless artifacts speeding away in a trailer on the back of a motorbike, thinking, wonder if we'll ever see those again.
No, we won't. So now what?
Perhaps Mahmoud might know where one would go if one recruit. Try the Street of Jackals.
Well, we do need to confirm that the chests were delivered to Dr. Kafur in person.
Should we take a quick stroll to the museum just to double check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all of you?
Yeah, don't see why not.
Yeah.
Okay, you head to the museum. The short journey through the streets of Cairo. Again, it's now about 1 o'clock just gone. It's really, really hot outside. And you're glad that you don't have to go any more than the 1/4 mile that you travel to get to the. Presume you're keeping your eyes open as you move.
Yes.
Okay. The journey passes uneventfully, and again you find yourself in the large, the grand entrance hall with the towering statues of Ramesses and Sekhmet, and the reception desk.
Same chap behind the reception desk as before.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Hello again. Here to speak to Dr. Kafur again, if we may.
I'm afraid Dr. Kafur is currently not here. He is dealing with some articles that have just arrived.
May be connected with that.
No, they are historical items. I can tell him. He said not to be disturbed. Shall I tell him?
We're checking on a delivery that's just been made. Sure, all is in order.
Oh, they are your items. Of course. Please, wait there. he goes through the door that says authorised visitors only. And after about 10 minutes, not quite 10 minutes, but it's a fair old wait. The door opens and Dr. Kafour comes out. Hello again. I have received items. I have not yet had chance to look at them. I have not met you two. You must be the other two that were spoken of earlier. I am
Meet you,
Dr.
Doctor.
Kafour. He shakes his hand.
Are we still in the public area, or have we?
Yeah,
gone through?
you're still in the public area. Yes. You can trust me. I will ensure that items are kept most securely.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kafour. We
Like I
did just
said,
want to check that they'd arrived safely.
Of course, it was a fairly unorthodox method of delivery, but I understand that you wanted to keep low profile. There are eyes everywhere. You were wise.
Well,
Is there anything else that I can help you
I
with?
think there is, Doctor. We'll take our leave of you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Doctor.
May there be some. Howard, would you need anything in order to gain ongoing access to the area where you would maybe could do your research?
Yes, Doctor. What do you suggest? There are some of the items there. I would like to research with your assistance or without at certain times. So how would I best go about that? Should I make an appointment?
No, of course. No, you would not need to do that. Are you talking about outside of normal hours? Or?
Not usually, but that may be required on occasion. And if I guess I'd have to.
I will ensure you have to start with. I will ensure you have a pass for the private reading rooms. How would that?
That sounds perfect.
Okay, he goes over to the desk and you hear them talking in Arabic. And presently he comes back with a paper pass that has the Egyptian museum symbol on it. Just need to show that, and you will be allowed in as long as the museum is open.
Thank you. That's perfect.
And also I meant to say I telephoned around and found that that Van Hoevelen stays at the Mina Hotel at Giza.
It's quick.
Yes, Mina. He is not there currently. He is at a dig. The receptionist could not tell me where, but he is due back tomorrow.
It's been most helpful. We may catch up with him tomorrow.
That is no. Well, I will bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Thank you again.
It is a pleasure. He goes back through the door.
Get back to the hotel and plan our next move.
Okay. Back outside you go, and walking into the chaotic streets of Cairo, heading back to your hotel. Okay, it's kind of pushing mid afternoon, like by the time you get back to your hotel and get back to your room.
One thing we should perhaps consider is providing the description of the gentleman that was watching us, the doctor, and seeing whether it means anything to him.
Or even to Mahmood, if he's...
Well, if the gentleman's a regular, he may... Or we could ask at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
We could have a late afternoon, early evening drink up there. See if we
use ourselves as bait, you mean?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay, so you're going to go up to the roof terrace?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, as you open the door to head out up the stairs, you see Mahmood approaching. Aha, my friend! Will you be needing my services any further today?
Looks at the others. I don't believe so. Huh?
No. Perhaps tomorrow, or maybe I could find it myself. I wish to buy some more suitable local attire so that I am more comfortable as I move around the city. Is there any way you could recommend you think would be suitable?
Suitable for whom, sir?
Suitable for me.
I think we would all need some more suitable.
Of course. I will be able to do so for all of you, do you say?
Yes, as you can see, we've only recently arrived from England, and feel that perhaps we did not bring appropriate clothing for us to move around the city without drawing attention as tourists and potential marks for petty thieves.
Finally a request of some good sense and good taste. You cannot walk through Cairo just like a British archaeologist on his first misadventure. The sun will roast you, the dust will mock you, and the locals will think you're mad or military. Come, I shall take you to the finest cloth merchant in the Khan al-Khalili. Light linen, desert robes, a proper keffiyeh to shield your head from the sun, and shoes that will not betray you on cobbled stones. You want to blend in? You shall look like a scholar from Al-Azhar or a spice trader from Aswan, as you prefer. He winks.
Perfect.
He turns and then says, just don't ask for anything in black. That colour draws more heat in this part of the world. So, do you wish me to travel and collect these for you, or are you going to accompany me?
Oh, well, if you think you're a good enough judge of, there will be loose clothing, so I assume that sizing will not be a problem. I will rely on your good taste.
He looks you up and down. I have a good eye for these things. Leave it to me.
Excellent.
I shall return. Will tomorrow morning be okay?
That would be perfect, thank you.
Thank you indeed. Thank you all. I shall see you in the morning. Goodbye, Effendi. He bows again. And off he goes.
I think we're going to keep him. I wonder if he's ever been to Australia and
Yeah. Tell him to start studying for Kenya now.
Okay. So you're all going to head up to the rooftop bar.
Yes.
Okay. The terrace is still relatively busy because it is kind of mid to late afternoon, and you're surprised to see the amount of guests. There are lots of parasols and umbrellas up around the terrace, obviously to keep off the strong sun. What did you want to do?
To be perfectly honest, we're going to use ourselves as bait. Just see if maybe it was a bit of nothing. Maybe someone else will be keeping an eye on us. So have a drink, keep our eyes peeled.
Okay.
Chew the fat about nothing in particular.
keeping our eyes out. Yeah.
Where are you sitting in the middle again? In the middle of the terrace? Or on the edge or in the middle? Okay.
In the middle.
You'll roll percentile dice for me, please.
36 for Blake.
Howard 33.
And 46 for Albert.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, you sit there long enough to have your drinks, which is about half an hour or so. It's very pleasant, nice and warm, nice surroundings. Even the clientele is good too. But and the view's pretty good. But you don't see anything suspicious or untoward. Nobody watching you. No repeat or no return of the man that you saw when you arrived yesterday.
There's a bar on the terrace, yes?
Yes, there's a bar. Yeah, it's a long mahogany bar.
Nice.
What was the description of the gentleman? Bert, he was tall, wearing a white linen suit.
Yeah, white linen suit, tall, Egyptian, but well groomed.
What's the best way to approach the bar staff to ask them if they know who the gentleman is, whether he's a regular? It's very difficult to go out there and say, I was hoping to meet somebody yesterday. Here's a description of him, but I can't tell you what his name was. What was his name, please?
Yeah.
Or if you say a gentleman dropped this wallet yesterday, I saw him as he left, but I couldn't catch up with him. Do you know who he is? Again, you just say, leave it at the bar and I'll give it to him. Also, wouldn't his identification be in the wallet? Any other ideas for how we could approach it? Or literally just go up there, offer him some money and say, do you know the name of that person?
Or not worry about it. Or not worry about it. Just we might be.
Well, I trust your instincts, but if we were being watched, we were being watched. And he departed. To what end? I mean, he was watching us quite closely. If it was just idle curiosity, I don't know, maybe he just finished his drink and decided to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, maybe I'm making too much of it.
Is that ever possible in this adventure?
Surely not. But equally, would he be foolish enough to, if he is part of the Brotherhood, he would not come back, if he has any sense, come back wearing the same outfit and start staring at us again. If it was me, I would send a colleague to watch us.
Exactly.
So it could be anybody here. So I think, the more I think about it, maybe you're right. But it. Maybe we just let it go and see what transpires.
Yeah.
So it's our thought that maybe the leader of the Brotherhood here is Shakti.
Well, it would follow, wouldn't it? Given the letter,
Yes.
as one cult leader to another,
Position of power.
certainly would have the means. People have been vanishing, women particularly, have been vanishing from his estate, interested in antiquities. I think that would most likely be his. He's probably the spider in the centre of the web here.
Yeah, not just cultist active.
Yeah, well, all activities. So we must be
Whole
careful
criminal
with our
network.
very careful with our inquiries.
Criminal network, and I should imagine friends in authority.
Well,
Another lead might be Jackson visited the Cairo bulletin. Might be worth us.
Mr. Wasif?
Well, I think he wanted to see Mr.
Yeah.
To catch up with him, but to find out.
well, yeah.
What he
Or
was
Mr. Wasif himself, if he's available to us.
Mr. Wasif confirmed to Dr. Kafur that Jackson hadn't actually seen him. He'll be able to tell us who he saw.
Yeah, well, we should definitely visit here. He said that seems like a very lightweight way for us to start swimming this particular pool.
And then
Um,
and the Dutchman tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
yes, so 2 low risk leads initially.
Yeah. And he's back this evening. So get him. So I do apologise for that turn of phrase. Go to speak with him in the morning.
Yes.
Mhm. If he does like a tipple, maybe that could be a way for us to loosen his tongue, gain his trust.
First thing in the morning.
Yeah, first thing in the morning.
He'll have to really like it.
Yep.
I suppose we don't know what time he's back. We could try to speak to him this evening, but
Why would we not just pose?
Yeah, I thought he was due back tomorrow.
oh, okay.
Perhaps if we speak to him in the afternoon when he might be a little more amenable to an offer of a drink.
Well, why don't we just pose as dilettantes wanting to set up our own expedition?
Hopefully I could pass as an archaeologist.
Or either set up our own expedition or tag along with someone else to maximise our chance.
Well, he has found another expedition, so we could ask him about that.
Well, we do have previous for going on expeditions, way back when. That's how this all started.
Okay, so the plan is to do that tomorrow. Is there any plans for the rest of today?
Eat, drink.
Okay, eat, drink.
So,
Play cards.
Yeah.
So it's a Cairo bulletin tomorrow morning? Or wait for Mahmoud, and then Cairo bulletin, and then Van Huvelen?
Yep. I'm going to try and acquire a taste for these horrendous Egyptian cigarettes.
Somewhat rough.
Nice, that's a great place to finish.
The team's got more leads than a New York dog walker. Where will we go next? Have the cults noticed we're here yet? Or is it just a guy having a coffee in a nice terrace? We'll find out next week. Please join us.